Ginny, you're late again. Just how many times are you going to let this happen, huh? I don't get how you're supposed to find any joy in life if all you're doing is working all the time. You need to get your priorities straight. Got it? Mom, are we really going to have to do this whole song and dance again? You do remember that we talked about this, right? I told you that this time of the year is really busy at my work and that there are going to be days when I come home late. Besides, I actually really like my job and it makes me feel fulfilled. So I really don't mind the extended hours as much as you might think. You like your job? It makes you feel fulfilled? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? Because if it's not, and that's really true, then that is just sad, Ginny. Why don't you go out and try making some friends instead, huh? I really don't think it's sad at all. I really enjoy the work, which is what I end up doing every day anyways. I think I'm lucky to have found a job that makes me feel this way. And besides, I do have friends, thank you very much. And on top of that, I have a boyfriend too. All I happen to be doing for now, though, is concentrating on my job since there's so much to be done. And I would really appreciate if you would let me concentrate on my job without making me feel bad about it. You really want to focus on your job right now? Are you serious? Why? What is even the point of doing something like that? Let's get one thing straight, Ginny. You're a woman. That means you have 2 jobs, clean the house and have kids. How about you try focusing instead on those, huh? I think that if you did that, then you would be a lot happier than you are right now. Well, Mom, I'm really sorry to disagree with you, but I think that we're just from 2 different times. Things change, and if women want to go out and work, they can do that. If they want to have kids, they can do that too. The important thing is that women have the ability to make those choices by themselves. You think women have the right to choose how to live their own lives? And you really think that that's going to make a woman happy? Now I know that you have no idea what you're talking about. That is just delusional. You are doing nothing but lying to yourself by saying that. It's just ridiculous. Aren't you jealous of your little sister? She's been married for years, and just look at her life. Surely you must want a little bit of that, right? Don't you want to get married and have kids? It's all the rage now. I think it's super trendy for young folks like your sister. Mom, I am very happy that Samantha is content with her life. She's my sister, and I love her, but I do not need to follow in her footsteps. I would rather go out and find my own way through this world. Your own way? Who in the world even talks like that? You really are crazy. I just don't know where I went wrong with you. I mean, your sister is doing so well, and you, well, you're just not. You know what, Mom? I really don't need you to understand my choice in life for me to be happy, okay? And just what is that supposed to mean? You think my opinion doesn't matter at all? That's not what I said, but I don't think that you have any intention of trying to see things my way. I know that you and Dad are divorced, but you two are still so similar with how controlling over people's lives you try to be. Well, while other people may be willing to put up with that from you, but not me. So stop telling me how to live my life. Do you think you're cool for doing this? That you're some kind of rebel? You're not cool at all. The only hip one here is your little sister. Hey, Samantha, how have you been? Are you doing well? I've been thinking a lot about you. I was just wondering how that little bun in the oven you have is treating you. Has it started moving? You must just be so excited about this, right? Hi, Mom. I'm doing well and feeling good too, thank you. And yes, I actually just felt it move the other day. It was so amazing. Oh, really? You did? Well, that's just wonderful. I I can't believe this is all happening so fast. You're going to be a mother soon, can you believe it? By the way, I was just curious when you were going to come back home to have your baby. Have you set a date for when you're going to arrive?
Sorry, what do you mean by that? I'm a little confused.
What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean, when are you going to come to my house to have your baby?
Oh, right. Well, the thing is that I was actually thinking that I would go to my husband's parents' house instead to do it.
Oh, really? But why would you want to go and do something like that? I mean, I'm your mother. You should be doing it at my house with me.
I know, and I really would like to, but it's just that you live so far away, and getting there would be really difficult, I think. I just would hate to do anything that made the baby or myself too uncomfortable, you know?
Oh, don't you worry about that. I can just pick you up and drive you back to my place. You won't have to worry about a single thing while you're here with me.
Mom, I really am sorry, but even then, that's 3 hours sitting in the car. I just don't know if I can stand not being able to move for that long.
Oh, don't worry about that either. We can just take little breaks along the way. It'll be like a little road trip for you and the little one.
Mom, I get that you really want this to happen, but I'm pretty far along in my pregnancy, and I get queasy really, really easily. I know that you mean well, but I think that I'd rather just stay here to have the baby if that's all the same to you.
Samantha, you can't be serious about this! Did I do something to make you hate me or something? How could you be treating your own mother like this?
You know that it's not anything like that at all. It really is just a matter of convenience. Greg's family lives around here, and it would be just easier for me to go to her. Besides, they've offered to help with anything I might need as well. I'll be in good hands, so you have nothing to worry about at all.
Well, okay, if you're really going to do it there, then maybe I can go over and be with you until you have your baby.
But Mom, don't you work? I know that it's just a part-time job, but I really don't want you to quit just for this.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I quit my job a long time ago, actually.
Wait, what? You did? I didn't know that.
But of course! I quit my job so to get ready to take care of you full-time while you were having your baby.
Mom, you didn't really go and do something like that, did you?
That's way too much! Samantha, you are my daughter, and I would do anything for you in this important time of your life. I'm not worried one bit about the job. I'm only worried about you. Do you understand?
Mom, please. I know that you want to be there, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. But at the end of the day, these kinds of decisions are going to be between Greg and I.
But that isn't fair! You don't live here anymore, so how am I even supposed to know what you've decided amongst yourselves? I did all of this for you, and now you're telling me that it was actually all for nothing? I quit my job just to be there for you when you would need me. I wanted to be by your side when you have your baby, and I could see my grandchild for the first time in my life. Is that really so awful?
Of course not. It's not awful at all. I just wish that you would have communicated with us a bit more before you did all this. But I promise that the moment I have the baby, you are going to be the first person that I send pictures to.
I don't want a picture of the baby. I want to see the real thing in person. I gave birth to you, and I want to be there when you give birth as well. Don't forget that it's not just your child, it's my grandchild as well. I have rights too, you know.
Okay, Mom, I think we need to just calm down a little bit.
Oh, I am very calm now, thanks to you. Let me make myself clear. I am your mother, and you are going to come back to my house to have your baby, and that is going to be the end of the discussion. And if you continue to argue with me, then that just makes you an ungrateful and disobedient little brat. Do you understand me? Do as I say, or I will see to it that your marriage doesn't last long after you have your child.
Hey, Ginny, are you there? I really need to talk to you about Mom. I think she's been acting really strangely lately, and I just really need someone to talk to about this right now.
Oh, Samantha! Lovely hearing from you. What has Mom been doing that's got you so upset, though?
Well, she keeps insisting, demanding, really, that I go to her house to have my baby. When I told her that I had made other arrangements, she got really mad at me. Yeah, I guess that she really wants it to happen, and I just don't think I've ever gotten such angry texts from her in the past.
Oh, wow. That sounds like so much to deal with when you're already going through a lot. Where are you right now? Maybe we can meet up and talk about this in person if you have the time.
I'm actually at Greg's parents' house right now. I told Greg all about what happened, and he brought me to their house for the time being. Both his parents have been so nice and caring and said that they would do whatever they could to make sure that I had this baby safely.
Well, that's a relief. I'm really glad to hear that you're in a safe place with so many supportive people around you. And more than anything, I'm glad you're in a place where you can be safe from Mom. Speaking of, have you heard from her since you last talked? Did she say she was going to do anything?
No, she hasn't told me anything, and I have no idea what she might do about all this. I tried calling her after she texted me because I thought that maybe there was just some miscommunication or something. I tried it a few times, actually, but she never picked up her phone.
I see. I wonder what that woman could be up to.
Well, that's actually one of the reasons why I'm messaging you right now. I was wondering if you'd seen her do anything strange or out of the ordinary.
I'm really sorry, Samantha, but I haven't really seen much of her lately. We've entered into the busy season at my work, so I've been coming home late every night and haven't had a chance to check up on her. Even now, I'm still on the metro on my way home.
Oh, right. Well, that makes sense. Nothing that can really be done about that, I suppose. I'm just really worried about what Mom might be up to. I really don't think that I've ever seen her this upset with me, and I'm really nervous.
I know that Mom can be scary at times, trust me. But I think you have to remember that she's probably just worried about you. You know how much Mom loves you. I think she just wants to be there for you.
I know that, but you don't know how hard that kind of pressure can be sometimes. She is always trying to be part of my life and is always trying to guide my actions. Part of the whole reason why I wanted to get married and move out was because I wanted to get away from that. How do you think I ended up moving so far away from home?
Oh, I see. I guess that I never really thought about it in that way. I'm sorry that you've had these feelings this whole time and I never noticed.
I know that to you it must just seem like Mom is really worried about me and is doing all this because she's thinking of me. But what that means for me is that Mom is going to try and take control of my life again, and if I don't do as she says, then she'll get really mad at me.
Oh, Samantha, thank you so much for talking to me about this. I really do wish I could give you a big hug right now. But I think what matters most is that you don't stress yourself given that you're pregnant. And maybe you can relax a little, knowing that it sounds like you're surrounded by people who really care for you and who just want you to do this safely. You have much bigger things to worry about than whatever it is that Mom might be doing.
Right. Now that's a good point. I'll try and calm down and remember that I'm in a safe place right now. But that reminds me, actually, what about you, Ginny? Are you okay with how things are going over there? Mom told me that she quit her job because she assumed that I was going to be going back home to have my kid. I was just worrying about the two of you since you live together and all. I mean, are you two going to be all right financially since you're the only one working now? I would hate for you to get into trouble or something that Mom decided to do for my sake.
Oh, right. Mom actually quit her job about a year ago or something like that. She was always getting into fights with her boss, and one day everything just blew up and she stormed out of there. She hasn't had a job ever since then. All she does is hang out at home, really.
Oh, wow, I had no idea that happened. What are you going to do with that woman?
I mean, that's part of the reason why I haven't moved out of the house myself. I just worry about what kind of trouble that Mom might get into if she's left to her own devices. So I'm partially here to keep an eye on her when I'm able to.
Oh, right. I remember how the neighbors used to talk about our family. Especially when Dad was still home and him and Mom would scream at each other in the house. I remember neighbors coming up to me in the streets and asking if I was okay. Or there was that one time that Mom kept trying to set me up with that boy who lives a few blocks away. And then when she finally brought him over, Dad got into a huge fight with him.
Yeah, I really try not to think about that time at all, if I'm being honest.
There were so many things that happened, it's hard for me to remember them at times.
I know. If only there was something we could do about Mom, though. I mean, my boyfriend and I have been talking about getting married for a long time, but I just don't know how it's going to work out with all this.
Ginny, I didn't know that you were putting your life on pause just to deal with Mom.
No. My problems really don't matter right now. We need to focus on you, Samantha.
You can complain, though. I know that as my older sister, you were always putting on a brave face so that I wouldn't get scared when our parents fought. But I know that you've been through a lot, too. You know, maybe if we can't think of what to do, we could go and talk to our uncle about how to handle Mom.
You really think that's a good idea, Sam?
Well, he did tell us that we could call him if we ever needed anything or were in trouble, remember? Of course, that was 5 years ago when Mom and Dad split up, but I'm sure he would still be there for us.
Our Uncle David. I never thought to try asking him for any help with this.
Yeah, I understand why. We both know that him and Mom don't really talk about that much these days, but still, it might be worth it. I mean, who better than her brother is going to know how Mom works and what she might be planning? And one more thing. Can you please tell your boyfriend that I'm sorry our family drama has affected him as well?
Oh, trust me. I tell him that quite often myself. But I think you're onto something about Uncle David. I'll reach out to him and see what he thinks. Ginny, do you realize that you're keeping your sister from coming to the house to have her baby? Sorry, what? I'm not really sure what you're talking about right now, Mom. Don't you play stupid with me, young lady. I know that there's no way that girl isn't just ignoring what I tell her on her own. Unlike you, she's a good girl. So then, just what are you trying to say right now? I mean that you must have something to do with this. Your little sister never disobeys me, and yet when I ask her to come and have her baby here, she says no! I thought she was going to be the daughter that I lived with in my old age, not you. But now she lives a whole 3-hour drive away and hardly comes to visit ever. It's clear that you must be jealous that your sister is so much better than you and you're doing something to keep her away. Well, I'm not going to stand for that. You can't keep your sister from having her baby here. So, if you're not going to be giving me any grandchildren, then you can at least make room for the child that will. Now hold on just a minute. Where is all this coming from? Do you have any proof at all of what you're saying? Oh, please. You still aren't even married. You have no boyfriend. You're still focusing on your career. No matter what you think about it, you are not going to be giving me any grandchildren anytime soon. All you do is care about yourself and your career. You don't care at all what I think, even though I'm your mother. Well, you make it sound as if you think I physically can't have kids on my own, and that isn't true. And I've already told you over and over again that I do have a boyfriend. But more than that, I don't appreciate at all how you're trying to blame Samantha not wanting to come home and have her baby here on me. If you must know, that is something that Samantha decided for herself. What are you talking about? That girl has never made a decision that she doesn't seek approval from me first. I know that you must be lying about that. I figured you would say something like that, Mom, but I think that you really have no idea what you're talking about at all. For example, did you know that the head obstetrician at the closest hospital where Sam could give birth is her sister-in-law? What do you mean? I mean that Greg's older sister works at the hospital and is going to be the one that delivers Sam's baby. Sam just feels safer and like she would have access to more people who care about her and can help guide her through this part of her life. That's the reason why she isn't coming home to have her baby. But then, I still don't get it. Why doesn't she want me to go out there and be with her as well? Well, it was because she didn't want you quitting your job just to be with her when she's already had so much support. She had no idea that you had already quit. But now that she knows, surely it's fine if I go over and be there for her, right? I can spend the night at Greg's parents' place and help out when the time comes, right? But you don't even know where they live, right? Well, surely you can tell me where they live and then I'll just go over there, right? I'm sorry, Mom, but I'm not going to tell you what their address is. It's not really my place to give that information out, and if you don't have it yet, you might not be meant to have it. I don't really want to put myself in Greg's family's bad graces. You what? You can't be serious. How dare you do this to me? Mom, I think you need to realize that your presence can be a bit of a stress trigger for Sam, and I don't think she wants you there. Anyways, this conversation is just going in circles, so I'm gonna go now. But please, just think about what I've said, okay? Samantha, you answer the phone right now! Why aren't any of these messages I'm sending to you coming up as read? I know that you can't be busy. You're very pregnant and should be resting right now. So if you have so much free time, I want to know why you're not talking to me. Please, Sam, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to get that upset, but I'm just worried about you, sweetie. You know that I only have your interest at heart. Please, Sam, won't you come home? I miss seeing my daughter so much. I want to see my grandbaby. Is that really such an awful thing to want? Samantha! Answer me this instant, young lady. You do not ignore your mother. Do you understand me? You know that you're the only thing I really care about in this world. Why won't you answer me? Samantha, pick up the phone right now. Oh my gosh, Ginny. I have something like 200 missed notifications from Mom. I literally just told her that she needed to think about stressing you out. What in the world is she thinking? I couldn't calm myself down at all watching my phone buzz all night. I tried putting it on silent, but it kept lighting up all the time. I finally had to block Mom's number. Well, you only have a couple of weeks before the little one's due date, right? Just hold on till then and don't unblock her. I've had just about enough out of Mom, and I'm going to handle this myself. Ginny, just what is going on here, huh? I woke up this morning and you were gone. What are you doing right now? And why did my brother show up here? He said he was here to pick me up. Just what is going on, huh? So then Uncle David finally arrived? I just told you he did, but I want to know what he's doing here. You know that him and I don't get along. We haven't talked in forever, so what is he doing here? Well, I asked him to come and deal with you since I'm getting married and don't have time for you anymore. Wait, what? What on earth are you talking about? I don't understand. Well, I kind of just spelled it out for you, so... You're really getting married? You expect me to believe that? There's no way that's true. You don't even have a boyfriend. Well then, I guess I'm not sure whose bride I just registered myself as at the courthouse. Anyways, we're going to move in together and I'm going to cancel the lease for the house. No, hold on! You can't do that! That isn't fair! Well, it's like Uncle Brian says, right? If you don't work, you don't eat. But don't worry, I talked to him and he agreed to give you a job at his printing shop. A job? You expect me to go back to work at my age? I don't expect anything from you, actually, but I do know that I probably won't see you again until it's your funeral. Goodbye, Mom. I took a page out of Samantha's book and blocked Mom's number before she could blow up my phone with angry messages and voicemails. I almost didn't, but when I was talking to my uncle, he told me that I wouldn't be truly free until I severed all ties from Mom. I know that seems excessive, but I'd already given up so many years of my life to dealing with her. I know that some people may think I'm being selfish, but sometimes that's how people need to act to protect themselves. Anyways, now I'm living with my husband, and we're planning for our wedding. Meanwhile, my mom had no choice but to move back into her brother's, whose print shop she now works at. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.